Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Cable. I'm your host, Brad Randall, and today we're joined by Jeff Johnson. He's the Director of Consumer Sales for Quantum Fiber's West region, and he also leads Quantum Fiber's Connected Communities teams, and they partner with owners, builders, developers, and management firms for the single-family and multifamily industry. So Jeff has a lot to offer us today, and we will get to him in just a moment. But before we do, we are weeks away from Broadband Community Summit scheduled for June 23, June 24, and June 25 at the George R. Brown Convention Center in Houston. Tickets do remain available. You can book your tickets and learn more about the summit at bbcmag.com/summit. And of course, Beyond the Cable is brought to you by bbcmag.com, the digital brand of the Broadband Communities Summit. So let's get to our interview with Jeff, and it's a fascinating conversation. We're glad to have him here on Beyond the Cable. Hi, Jeff. Thanks for joining us here on Beyond the Cable today.
Glad to be here.
Well, let's jump right into it. Can you discuss Quantum Fiber's strategy when it comes to client partnerships?
Yeah, absolutely. I think at Quantum Fiber, our client strategy is really a always ready and long-term strategy. We want to be a partner by your side that offers tailored solutions and property value opportunities for you going forward. We know that there's going to be changing conditions. We want to grow and adapt with our clients through all of the things that happens with ever-changing economic shifts, technological advances, consumer trends. I think we have a ton of intelligence from all of our years being a tier one provider, doing this for a long time. We have, we're dedicated and looking towards those long-term partnerships. We don't just want to be a one and done. And with the rapid pace of those technological advancements, we're pretty adaptable to that. And I think we're always kind of looking for, what's next and what does that mean? And I think, we'll be there from the beginning to consult on projects, determine the right solution to meet both the needs of the owner and the residents that are living there. We have implementation teams that work all the way through the fiber installation that we've, agreed upon, ensuring that every aspect of that project is planned and executed. We also have dedicated support and marketing teams, after the fact that collaborate closely with the property staff to ensure operations are running smoothly, address any issues that may arise along the way, because things do happen and we want to be there to help with that. And then I think, going back to the long-term aspect is, these are long-term agreements. These are 5-10-year contracts that we're looking at. And we want to renew these. We want to go past that 5 or 10 years and ensure stability for both the residents and the staffs at those properties.
So how can pre-planning evaluations help to create a strategy for a property overall?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty imperative that we do that, and usually it's more than just one pre-planning meeting. We're trying to figure out what the property's vision is, and sometimes helping them with what that vision is. Trying to figure out what they're looking for from providers, and maybe most importantly, how they're looking for that to benefit their residents and how their residents are going to use it. And so, we have those discussions. We come up with solutions that everyone agrees are going to meet all of those needs from both sides. And we bring a team to those meetings. It's not just an account rep that's there. We're kind of led in those types of meetings with a very experienced team of sales engineers. That's all they do is work with our account teams on this to figure out what the best solutions are, and to, again, talk through with property owners what they're looking for and make sure there's some things that they're not even familiar with that we're going to maybe bring to the table that they hadn't thought about before. And then the great thing, those same sales engineers are the ones that, after we've decided upon a solution and come to an agreement, they're the ones that are handing off to our engineering and construction teams, making sure that those upfront designs and installation needs are met, and the plans that we agreed on are being implemented, so that all of those needs for both the property and the residents are met.
And can you discuss how revenue sharing can benefit multifamily property owners? I mean, obviously it's revenue sharing, so it's a revenue stream, but from your perspective.
Yeah, no, it's like you said, it's a very standard and great benefit to owners. I think this is another long-term thing, right? It brings a long-term, revenue stream for property owners. In our marketing agreements, we're setting that revenue share up front so people understand, what it is, and the owners are going to earn, they have a little bit of control over what they're earning in that standpoint, right? With depending on the activities that they're doing on the property to just drive subscribers in their buildings, increase that revenue that they're having a share in. But I think the great thing with us too is they're not doing it alone. Our customer success teams are going to, be at the property multiple times per month, sometimes per week, depending on what's going on. And they're going to help those property, staff and leasing staff to drive that penetration and the revenue that, becomes a monthly revenue stream for those owners. So I think while it's a very standard thing that is happening out there, I think sometimes people forget about, what a great benefit that is for properties.
Absolutely. And, obviously your quantum fiber, but does quantum fiber deploy different solutions for different types of properties?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's different types of properties is kind of funny, right? Like I've been doing this for a long time, and a lot of us have, and it seems like no two properties are ever alike. You can talk
Mhm.
about existing or new builds, but each of those are different too. Each property requires a different solution based on the size of the property, the style, the bandwidth needs they need, common space needs, what they're looking for there, and then obviously we talked about new developments or existing complexes. But for today, like if future demands, really we're looking for all of our builds to account for a fiber to the home or fiber to the unit technology. We're deploying Wi-Fi 7 to provide an optimal Wi-Fi experience too. That's kind of internet for most people is Wi-Fi. So we're doing that, and regardless of whether it's garden style, mid rise, high rise, trying to get fiber all the way into the unit is huge. And then we're, from an existing standpoint too, we're starting to do a whole lot more fiber to the unit overbuilds in those. They've been cost prohibitive in the industry in the past, but I think through some different things we've been looking at, we've found some ways to overbuild these properties, bringing fiber all the way into the unit, making it aesthetically pleasing, working with the properties to come up with a plan, and then also deploying our instant internet solution in those fiber overbuilds for the existing properties. And so, really, when you look at the speed is just as fast and reliable. It's fiber all the way there, so very similar and basically the same as new construction. So this has been a kind of a game changer for us. We're getting a lot of calls, a lot of attention from properties. So yeah, so lots of different deployment opportunities based on many of those things, but all of them kind of come back to bringing fiber all the way to the unit and deploying our instant internet.
And is fiber always the best solution?
Yeah, I believe fiber is a great solution because of all the bandwidth needs today. We have so many IoT connected devices in our homes and around the communities, and bringing fiber all the way to the unit allows residents to game, stream in 4K, work from home, doing this all at once, doing it with multiple people doing some of these things all at once. And so I think it's a really great solution. And then when you look at the AI boom that's out there, I'm sure we'll hear about it a lot, in the coming weeks and at the
For sure.
conference. The future consumption needs for bandwidth are soaring exponentially, and so I think getting fiber all the way to the home or into the unit to help future proof the communities and ensure that they're prepared for the speeds and capacity needs for new technologies and different needs that are going to be coming their way in the future.
And what are some other ways, Jeff, that, besides revenue sharing,
Mhm.
that quantum fiber can help property owners in the multifamily space see a return on their investment?
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of it. We talked the revenue share like you mentioned, but I think there's a lot of different ways that you can drive ROI. So I think having fiber as a premium amenity in your building can help quickly attract residents, retain residents, get your leasing numbers where they want to be. And so obviously that's the name of the game. Filling up the units and keeping people there, and can also maybe increase rents with that premium amenity. Um, Also, I talked about our instant before too. We pre-install all of our equipment up front. So that makes things more seamlessly when you're turning up buildings, makes more things more seamlessly for property staff, not having to let people in constantly. It's good for the environment as well, right? We're not rolling a truck every single time. We're rolling a truck a
Right.
few times to deploy that building out. Again, the value as these properties come up for sale or resale, I think having fiber in there is going to add value to that property. And then I think, another big way, and we haven't talked about it yet, is bulk. This is an approach that is coming up more and more. I think a lot of people are understanding that the properties can deploy fiber in their buildings. They can sign up for a discounted rate for internet, which can be set up to provide a predictable revenue stream for them, savings that can be passed on to their residents. Again, I think this can help them attract and retain residents more as well. So I think there's a lot, and we continue to look at other ways that we can partner on things. And I think in the future, there'll be other opportunities. But yeah, I mean that's 4 or 5 that we talked about today. So I think partnering with Quantum Fiber in your space can do a lot of different things to help drive ROI.
Providing a valuable service to properties and invaluable to residents. Jeff,
Absolutely.
thanks for joining us today on Beyond the Cable. I really appreciate your time.
No, Brad, thanks for having me. I appreciate it as well. And yeah, look forward to talking more about this in the future.
And that concludes this episode of Beyond the Cable. I'm your host, Brad Randall, signing out. One more call out. We are weeks away from Broadband Community Summit, so learn more about the summit and book your tickets at bbcmag.com/summit. And I hope to see you in Houston at the end of the month, and you can follow more of our podcast activity at bbcmag.com. Before we sign off, a disclaimer from Quantum Fiber. All content is for informational purposes only, may require users additional research, and is provided as is without any warranty, condition of any kind, express or implied, or guarantee of outcome or results. Use of this